I'm Robin.
And I'm Kristen.
And we are back for another review, look at, enjoyment.
Recap of. We're on BTS episode 52.
52, The Escape Room.
Yes, and since it's only one episode, hopefully we'll be better about our time management.
Yes, we're going to try really, really hard.
But we can't make any promises because we're unpredictable.
Yes,
just like them.
Yes, yes. But like, you know, in watching it and talking about it briefly, you had stated how you had been through several escape rooms, and you understand how it works, but it was confusing for you to watch.
Because, okay, so in this episode, the guys are split into two teams, and they go into two different escape rooms, and each escape room has a different theme. And I think the thing that was really confusing was, well, aside from the language barrier, the camera was split between the two, so you'd go back and forth between one group and then to another to see how they progress, which was kind of hard to keep up with because you think you have it together and then it takes you to the other one and you're trying to get caught up with where they are in their attempt to get out of the room, and then it goes back and you're like, oh wait, we're still here, but it's, you know, it never left really. So it was really kind of confusing. We had to watch it a couple times, do some rewinding, going back to the beginning, restarting, pausing a lot to try to make sure we're getting everything that they're getting. And even though I had already seen it, I realized, like, I watched these a year ago.
Really? It's been a year?
It's been a year. It's been a year since I've watched them, because I binge watched them right when I got into BTS, which was like August of last year. And I took me, God, I want to say like a month and a half.
167 hours.
It took me so much time. And I don't know how I managed to get it done as quickly as I did, considering I have a full-time job.
Yes.
But I work remotely for the most part, so I didn't have to worry about commuting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was watching them all, and about this time last year, I think I finished shortly before Thanksgiving last year. So
I don't know for sure, but yeah, I know that you were watching them, because when I would, you know, comment to you, I asked you, you know, what are you doing? I'm watching BTS. Run BTS.
Yeah, and you're like, where are they running to? And now you know they're running everywhere.
They're running everywhere. All the time.
When aren't they running?
That's right. Well, yeah, that's so. I have never experienced an escape room.
And I was gonna ask you when we were chatting about it, and I was like, no, I'll save it for the episode. Do you want to do that?
I do. There's a part of me that
Just a part. I feel like
hold on.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. When you guys were going, I mean, I know you've been several times, but I don't know exactly who you went with. But there was that particular time, I was like, if I wanted to go.
Well, okay, so the very first time I went with Karen, actually.
Okay.
Karen? So a friend of mine from like middle school. Yeah. We had gone, and it was in LA, and it was a hotel with like 10 different escape room floors. Like it had 10 floors and it had 10 different escape rooms in the hotel, and so you got a booklet, which is like a passport, and basically you could keep coming back and like fill your passport. I only did the one that one time, but we went, it was her, a couple of her friends, and then because our group was kind of small, we got paired up with another small group, so we were with some strangers, because you had to have like a certain amount of people to get through it, because it's a whole floor, so it's a lot of rooms you got to go through.
Okay, was it an older hotel?
Yeah, I think it is an older hotel.
Okay, so, I mean, I'm trying to think now about a hotel floor. I mean, they have a lot of rooms.
Yeah, but it was
like not as many rooms.
I don't think it was like, I don't know if it was an actual hotel that they converted into escape room experience, or if they just designed it to be the theme of like an old hotel, like, because they had the lobby where you check in, and then they had like the lobby bar, and you go in and you just kind of sit and wait your turn, and then when it's your turn, you take the elevator to your floor, you know, based on where you're going. So it's like, you know, you come in as a guest of the hotel, but of course, because, you know, everything has to be a little twist, a little scary. Yeah. They, you know, obviously your floor is either haunted or possessed or it's been converted to the underworld. I don't know. There's so many different themes.
Yeah.
There's so many different themes. So we were actually, I think we were in a psych ward on ours. And it was kind of crazy because I can't remember if it was haunted or if it was zombie patients. This was eons ago. Like it feels like forever ago, but it was definitely pre-pandemic. And honestly, I don't remember much pre-pandemic. It's all a blur pre-pandemic.
Well, I can imagine that was something.
And then, actually, I think all of my escape room experiences were pre-pandemic. Because then I had the one for my birthday, and that was before we went to Disney World. Because that's when Cam found out that he wasn't going and who was, and he was really upset about that.
That's not what we're talking about.
That's not. But that was at that dinner after we did the escape room, and he found out about that. So I knew that was pre-pandemic because we didn't do Disney World. That's my marker. Yeah. Because that's what we found out about everything shutting down while we were in Disney World.
Right.
Which is a trip, being holed up in Disney World until your vacation ends. Right. Exactly. So, I mean, it's not a bad place to be locked down.
No, it's not. Except you can't go to the park.
Yeah, except you can't go ride the rides. But still, they were very accommodating. But yeah, so then we had that one, and that was all people that I invited to dinner for my birthday. So it was a mix of some work friends, some social friends, a couple childhood friends. And then the third one was with Chantal and Nate. And I don't remember why. I don't remember what the occasion was. Like, we were just, I think we had gone out to eat for something, and Nate was just like, we're going to do an escape room. And I was like, we are? I was just along for the ride. Well, but that one it was weird because it was like, it was in Hollywood. It literally, it was a side door. Like, there was a bunch of buildings, and it was just a random side door. And I was like, I trust my brother-in-law. If it had been anybody else, I'd be like, nope, I'm not going in there. I'll be in the car. Because it wasn't a sketchy area, but it was just kind of like an off the beaten path kind of area, not a major street. And then you see these businesses, and then there's just this random door with a hallway, and that's going into the escape room. And the escape room was, being Hollywood, I think it was a record label producer or somebody who worked at a record company in the industry, and it was his penthouse, or it was not penthouse, but his like apartment, luxury apartment / studio. And so you had all these different clues and stuff that you had to escape the studio to break through in the industry. I think that was the theme.
Oh, okay.
You got to, when you come out, you are a superstar.
So in answer to your question, yes, I would.
Okay.
Thank you for the explanation on all three.
I mean, like, that's the thing.
Because you gave me some real insight.
Well, they have different themes, and they get really creative with the themes, which is a lot of fun because you get to be immersed in the story. Like, the one I did for my birthday, I think it was like a treasure map one, where we had these clues, and there's some long-lost treasure somewhere, and we had to figure it out. So it felt very Indiana Jones.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But without, snakes.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, let's get to their
And I just realized why we have poor time management. Because we do stuff like this, and we're like, the episode, but I promise this applies.
Yes.
There's a reason we're talking about it. But no, not today. Not today. Thank you. There's a little cameo from Mittens.
Yes. So their experience, I don't know what type of building or anything they were in, but they did have two different themes.
So the place they went had multiple rooms, and so they had to choose which one they were going to do. They had team captains, and the team captains chose which adventure they were going on. So you had Jen's team, and you had Jimin's team.
Yeah, right. Jim's team, and the different rooms, and there was also different levels. They had an intermediate level and an advanced level. And Jimin's team had the advanced level, and
because they ended up having 4 people.
They had 4 people, right? And then Jin's team had the intermediate, and Jin, V, and Sugar, they had Dorothy's nightmare.
Yeah, so they were in a little girl's dream.
Yeah. And
they had to wake her up. So they had to figure out how to get out of the dream or finish the dream so that she could wake up from her nightmare. And They had some struggles. Even though they were in the intermediate, they did really well. There were a lot of moments where V got scared, like his little jump scares. And he just got startled a lot, and you just kind of saw him hovering in the back, like waiting for something to happen because he didn't want to be caught off guard.
And then when it did, this was his reaction. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Constantly just like, but he's so adorable.
Yeah, but that it was cute. But that was his response to the clue being revealed. And then R.A.M., J-Hope, Jimin, and JK. It was a dry sauna.
Yeah, so they were part-time workers at a spa in the dry sauna.
You caught that? I didn't see that. I didn't catch that.
That they were part-time workers. They're supposed to be part-time workers.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, there was a lot. I'm always missing some things. It
goes by, to be fair, it goes by so fast. Sometimes especially when they're immersed in something, I think there's moments where they forget they're on camera and they're just like, no, I have to complete this task, and they just get fully like into it.
Yeah.
And so sometimes they're speaking just like they would, I imagine they would speak normally to each other.
Right, yeah.
And they're not really taking into account that they have to pace themselves for the subtitles for the viewers. Yes. So it's like her. Yeah. But I think when they get more immersed in that role, or when they get immersed in their task, in this case in the escape room, in the story of the escape room, it's kind of fun to see how they engage when they forget the cameras are there, or when they're not focused on the cameras being there. Because I don't think they genuinely forget. I just think that sometimes they have moments where they're just like, no, we're in this and we have to do this. And then they'll look up and be like, oh yeah, there's a cameraman. And
you know what? I do appreciate that, because that's when we get the real.
Yeah.
You get the real at that point.
It's very
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Let's go over a little bit of the rules, and I hope I got them all. Escape by using hints within a limited time, and their time was an hour.
Yes, so they had 60 minutes.
Right. Players only get 5 hints from the interphone.
Yes. So they can call the actual operators of the I almost said hotel of the escape room for hints or for help with hints.
Right.
And they only get 5.
They only get 5
calls.
And for every call they make, they get an additional 10 seconds added to their time. So
so it takes away time from their total.
Right.
Oh, I didn't catch that part.
Hey, good.
Look at her. Sometimes she gets one.
And then, of course, the winner gets the prize.
Yes.
So the sauna team, they start out, their first room is a room that appears to be somewhat of a snack room, or
so it's
the
like
initial room when you go into a sauna.
So it's like the main, I guess, lobby of a sauna. You got your lockers where you put your stuff. You got the snack bar where you can, get your snacks.
Right.
And then they had separate rooms, just like at a sauna. You got like the sauna room, the ice room, and they had to get their clues in order to open those rooms.
To get through to those rooms. So that was the beginning of theirs. Mm-hmm. Now, Dorothy's dream, her nightmare, I'm sorry, their room, their first clue room, or their first room was I don't even know how to describe her. They had it had pages from her diary
was
on
and
the wall.
It had pictures that looked like she'd drawn. It looked
like a kid's room.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, it looked like it could have been her bedroom, except for there was no bed.
Right. There was no bed. Right.
Yeah, but exactly. it could have been like it was probably her room.
Yeah.
And that's where they started, and then it was weird because it's her nightmare, so the rooms probably don't really make much sense in terms of like a house. Right. Because they're just random rooms in her dream.
Yeah. Random rooms. So they went through, they collected the clues, and of course they collect clues along the way to get them to the clue that will move them forward.
Yes.
And so any room could have a number of clues in it, not just one clue that moves you forward.
Yeah.
So they, sometimes it was, it was
you get clues, you solve clues to get more clues to get out of that room to get to the next room. Right. Exactly. And ultimately escape. So I think each one had 4 rooms.
4 rooms? Yes, yeah. I think each one did have 4 rooms. Let me see. Am I forgetting? So I don't know how to go from. So do we describe the different rooms?
We could, but it's a lot. So, like I said, in the spa one, in the sauna, they had like the ice room, the sauna room, the main lobby area. They had to. I think the purpose was to heat the furnace, so they had to go through all of the clues and everything to find the wood to heat the furnace. So every time they found like a piece of wood, they added to the furnace, it raised the temperature. At the end, whatever that final temperature is that's their code to get out of their escape room.
Right. Would you like to, as far as that escape room, just add some like highlight moments of when something a little
so like
abnormal happened?
Well, okay, so there were some surprising moments because I really kind of anticipated, I'm not going to say expected, but I anticipated that RM would have excelled like easily in some of the like the math sort of ones, the patterns. And I feel like he just kind of, I don't know if he purposely stepped back and said, hey, I'm going to let them do it, or if there was a lot of things that just went over his head. There was one surprising moment, which I shouldn't be surprised because J-Hope is super smart. But he had a moment where they were trying to figure out the sequence, the pattern on the lockers, and they had to find the missing one to get to open it. And they had to figure out what the number is. And RM was, very lost. He was looking, he was like, this pattern doesn't make sense. I can't figure out how these numbers are even related. They're not even all divisible by the same number. He was trying to figure it out. And then all of a sudden, J-Hope just turns his head upside down and goes, oh, got it. And he's just like, what? He's like, yeah, I got this. It took him like, I don't know, all of 5 seconds flat.
Yeah.
But that was a really cool moment. And even RM was impressed. RM and Jim were like, oh, you're so cool. Like, you're so cool.
Awesome, man. Amazing.
There were some moments where JK was getting distracted and he was just talking to the camera.
Yeah.
While they were all trying to figure stuff out. And he's just like, we're not going to get out of here. He just walked over.
Yeah, he was going back and forth. Like if someone found something, he would stand next to that person trying to figure out what they would,
what they found.
And then they would go to somebody else, and he would just mosey on over there to say, "Well, what do you have? What how does it work for you?"
But I distinctly remember him turning to the camera. And he's just like, "We're not gonna get out of here." It was like this guy. But that was pretty early on, so it was like he already was defeated. But he had a couple of moments too where he figured stuff out. And his reaction, it was like he shocked himself. Yeah. Which is kind of cute because he's just like, oh, I got it, guys. And they're just like, oh, good for you. So there were some key moments. Jimin had some moments too where he was like, I figured it out. Like, especially the maze kind of pattern.
Yes, the maze.
Where he's, on the stack one and then in the ice room.
Yes, he went back. He kept going back and forth.
Because J-Hope started that one, and he was like, I think I've got it, and it didn't work.
It didn't work.
And Jimmy came in, he's like, I think I've got it.
I think it clicked for him what J-Hope is doing, and he kind of said, well, okay, maybe you can do the same thing, but change it around a little bit.
Yeah, so he figured out the missing link.
Now, they did they called twice in their first room. So that was 2 calls for the dry sauna in their first room. And I think they did use up 4 or 5 of their calls?
No, I think they only used 3.
They only used 3?
I know one team used 3, one team used 2. And I think that the sauna room used 3 and the nightmare one used 2. But I don't know for sure.
Okay.
But I feel like there was like one. And they were really close with their finish times too. They finished within minutes of each other.
Within minutes of each other, yes. They
did really well.
Now the nightmare one, their first room with the diary and everything, and they were figuring that, and I was confused with whether or not they went from room 1 to 2 to 3 immediately, but it didn't happen. We rewound it
because we had to keep going back. There was a lot of stuff we were missing
because I was sitting there and I'm like, how that door's open? They're going in. V was going in and out, and I was like, how is he getting to go in and out if they haven't figured out the thing? I said, did they enter one room and it opened up 2 rooms, or
No,
that wasn't it.
Realizing
I was totally off. So what I didn't realize is that they had gone through what they needed to go through in room 2 to get room 3 open. It just happened so fast.
Yes, there was one room that they blew through really quickly,
Yeah,
and I think it was
just happens to
room
put-
2
Yeah,
to room 3. Like it was, I think maybe 2 clues, and then they were in the next room,
right.
and they got them really quickly. So yeah, I was like, I think I missed it.
Yeah.
I was like, I
We
definitely missed
it. And then in room 3, they kept going back to room 2 because they had to complete this puzzle, the wall puzzle, and work on that in order to get.
But the clues for the puzzle were in room 3, so they had to keep. It was it was a lot of back and forth through the doors.
Through the doors, yeah. And then the following room, room 4 for them, was the room with the table in the middle
and the lights
and the light,
the frames and the nutcrackers and.
Oh yes, the nutcrackers in the box. That room took them a while.
It did, but I think because it was the last room, it was going to be the most complicated.
Yeah, yeah. It took them a while, but they. What was funny about that room for me is sitting on the chair. They had to be on the chair at the same time.
Yes.
But they kept getting up
to look at the patterns.
The patterns, and not knowing that. Do you initially have to be on it at the same time, and then just one or the other, or do you have to remain on it at the same time? So they did do that, and that was comical for me.
When they finally figured it out.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. And then they made it through, and they got out. They helped. They got out of the dream, and they got out of.
But it was funny because they came out, and they're like, "Where's Dorothy? Where's Dorothy?" And then captions from the editors was like, "Stop looking for Dorothy and finish the thing. Finish the escape room." They're like, "Actually escape, guys."
Yeah.
So they're just like, Dorothy. They're like, "You gotta finish." So that was really kind of funny. But then they got there, they rang the bell, and as they were going through, the other team heard them cheering and was like, "Oh, they finished. They finished."
Yeah, they finished.
And so they kind of got a little discouraged, but they still finished their puzzle, their escape room, and they managed to get out. And like I said, it was within 2 minutes, maybe a little bit more than 2 minutes later. And both teams finished under an hour.
Right.
They had enough time to spare, so they did really, really well.
They did do really well. And so, of course, Jen's team won. Mm-hmm. The Dorothy Nightmare. And they got their prize.
Yes.
Which was a handheld game console that connects to your phone.
Yeah.
So that was neat.
It was, and Jen was really excited about it, and I think because Suga immediately was like, "Oh, I don't really play games, so I don't need it." And V was like, "Oh, we'll just give it to Jen," and so it got to go home with Jen.
So he was
he was happy. But I think overall it was a really good experience. I think they had a really good time, and it made us think like, hey, maybe we should do an escape room.
Yeah, I would do an escape room.
Who would you invite?
Everybody.
Well, you gotta be strategic about who's gonna be completing this thing with you. You don't want somebody who is a weak link.
True that. I'll give you that.
Somebody who's gonna think about the clues and get you out of there in the time limit.
In the time span for which we have to do it through. Yeah, because I guess everybody would get in the way.
I mean, that's the other thing. The more people you have, the more it's like too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So you want to have a decent amount. So you go with what their minimum requirement for a group is. It's somewhere around that number. It's probably safe because I feel like the more people you have, the more cooks you have in the kitchen. You have too many people trying to give you the clues. Don't want to ruin the soup.
No, don't want to ruin the soup. But yeah, I don't know off the top of my head. I mean,
we'll figure it out.
You would come.
Oh,
be with me, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I'd go.
Okay.
If you thought I was worthy.
Well, you got out of all the escape rooms you went to.
I did. So, I did get out of all my escape rooms.
Your resume is pretty good with me.
Yeah, so I'd say for 3.
I would. Yeah, I would definitely have you go with me, and I just I think it would be fun.
Maybe we can explore that this holiday season.
That would be fun.
A little holiday family outing.
Yeah.
We can run it by the peoples. The peoples.
We can. We could do that. So, alrighty then. That's it. The
They escaped the escape
Escape-
room.
they
We escaped them escaping the escape room.
And yes, and
Everybody
yes,
got out happy.
everybody got out.
And in
happy.
record time.
Mhm.
Well, I don't know about record time, but they got out at.
Well, no, in record time it was under the time that they. Well, maybe
Yeah.
not record. Okay,
Yeah, I was
got
gonna say
you.
like
I got
maybe
you.
not record, but
I got
under
but
the requirement.
under the required time. So
yeah,
yes,
so they did.
it.
They did really well.
Yay.
We're proud of them. They're proud of themselves.
Yes.
And Jen got a gaming console thing for his phone.
So he'll have something to do when he's just sitting around.
When is he ever just sitting around?
I don't know, but when he's just sitting, maybe on the ride to the airport. I don't know.
Maybe while on the airplane.
Maybe while on the airplane. I don't know. But yes. So, okay, well, thanks you guys for
Listening to that chaos with us.
Yes, yes. Speaking of chaos, what level of chaos would you give this one?
Maybe 4 or 5.
4 or 5?
Out of 7, yeah. I mean, it wasn't too chaotic,
I
but it was
would
kind
give
of
it to you.
it was kind of funny.
It was more chaos, I think, for us. It's
trying to figure out what was happening.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah,
more. But yeah, no, I agree. It's not high. It's in the middle.
I think it's in the middle. I
yeah.
think 4 is a good one.
Okay.
Because it wasn't outrageously chaotic, but it wasn't. Well, they're never boring.
No.
They're never boring.
No,
but it's, and I feel like it's going to be very hard for us to come across like a 1 or a 2 heart chaos rating.
That probably won't happen. I'm only up to episode 53, and I have not sat back and said, yeah, we probably could have done without that one. No. No. All of them have been entertaining.
Yep.
In more than one way.
We'll talk about all those ways another time. All right, well, thank you guys for joining us. And go check out episode 52. And we will be back with the next recap, or I think it's an album.
It's an album.
We'll be back with another album review. And we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.